Hello. Happy Sunday. Happy November. It's going to start getting colder and darker, but this is a month of really giving thanks and really coming into more of ourselves as we start going into or preparing for next month, which really takes us into winter on the East Coast. We need to be in this place of preparing ourselves to get ready to go inward. So if there's things that, if there's things that you still need to do to prepare with your home or the outdoors or anything that you need to get into shape as we move forward in the days ahead, start thinking about it, because before you know it, we're going to have snow. Yes, that 4-letter word that begins with an S, snow. And start to make your list. You know, during the retrograde, all the retrogrades, I made a very long list on things I wanted to accomplish that's been rolling in my head, appointments, things that, getting your car fixed, all of this, and I did them. So just by being mindful, having a list, it was great. So what I want to say to you is start making your list. What are you going to accomplish over the winter? Knowing it's a time of going within, but if you have any things that need to, like I said, I fixed my car, I made dentist appointments, I looked at the things that I needed to do. Start making your list. Today we're going to do something totally different. In this lovely bag that says hope on it, I have rune stones, R-U-N-E, and these are ancient Viking stones that way back when the Vikings used to take sticks and draw on different things or leave these symbols in the sand. And Gerard, one of my most cherished gifts, he made me these. He got these stones and he painted on them in gold leaf, and these are replicas of the rune stones and the definitions. I have this very ragged book that's falling apart because I've had them so long, but these are what the rune stones look like, and they all mean something. So I thought, for a change of pace, mix these up. I'm going to pull 3 rune stones for the month of November, since we're going into it. Ooh. All right, we have our 3. The first one looks like a big X. I don't know if you can see it on there, but it's a big X. Partnership is the rune. It says drawing this rune is an indication that partnership in some form is at hand, but you are put on notice not to collapse yourself into that union. For true partnership is only achieved by separate and whole beings who retain their uniqueness even as they unite. Remember to let the winds of heaven dance between you. There is another realm of partnership that we are being called to consider. For the path of partnership can lead you to the realization of a still greater union with the higher self, union with the divine. The ultimate gift of this rune is the realization of the divine in all things. God always enters into equal partnership. The rune of partnership has no reverse. It signifies the gift of freedom from which flow all other gifts. Now, what they mean is it's an X, so even if you turn the stone around, it's going to say the same thing. But some of the stones show up in reverse and you leave it there. It means you're not in alignment with whatever it is and need to be. So partnership, many, many ways to take this. all of you who've been looking for partnership in your life, it could definitely represent somebody coming in. It could also represent partnership with yourself, your soul and your personality being more aligned. And as they said, it could be a deeper partnership with spirit. What came to me when I was reading this is, if we're looking in the bigger picture for this month, one of the things that came to mind was signs, almost like us knowing that we are in partnership, even though it's tough down here right now and everything we're dealing with. Spirit, God, the universe is still with us, the angels, our guides, and that I felt we'll have signs of knowing that we are in partnership with spirit. The next one looks like this. Kind of looks like an H with a slanted thing on it. So we're going to look that up. Okay, this one is disruption. And again, it's upright. Disruptive natural forces, elemental power, hail. Change, freedom, invention, and liberation are all attributes of this rune. Drawing it indicates a pressing need within the psyche to break free from constricting identification with the material reality and to experience the world of the archetypal mind. The rune of element disruption, of events that seem to be totally beyond your control, has only an upright position, and yet it always operates through reversal. When you draw this rune, expect disruption, for it is the Great Awakener. Although the form the awakening takes may vary, perhaps you will experience a gradual feeling of coming to your senses, as though you were emerging from a long sleep. Then again, the onset of power may be such as to rip away the fabric of what you previously knew as your reality, your security, your understanding of yourself, your work, or your relationships or beliefs. Be aware, however, that what operates here is not ultimately an outside force, not a situation of you at the mercy of externals. Your own nature is creating what is happening, and you are not without power. The inner strength you have funded until now in your life is your support and guide at a time when everything you've taken for granted is being challenged. The more severe the disruption in your life, the more significant and timely the requirements for your growth. So, what comes to mind with this is disruption. I feel like there's more earth changes going to happen. I feel that we may have more discomfort in terms of shortages and things changing in the bigger picture and in our life. Whatever no longer serves you. You know, I'm seeing a lot of people going through divorce or realizing that they can't be in the job anymore they once were. But what was most important was saying that you're the one that's calling for it. It's falling apart because it no longer serves you anymore. So pay attention to that. And don't take it personal. We always want to take everything personal. The next one looks like a funny F. And again, this is upright too. So for the month of November, this is possessions and nourishment. This is a rune of fulfillment, ambition satisfied, love fulfilled, rewards received. It promises nourishment from the most worldly to the sacred and divine. As above, so below is true. We are here to nourish ourselves in God. This rune calls for a deep probing of the meaning of profit and gain in your life. Look with care to know whether it is wealth and possessions you require for your well-being, or rather self-rule and the growth of will. Another concern of this is with conserving what has already been gained. It urges vigilance and continual mindfulness, especially in times of good fortune. For it is then that we are likely to collapse ourselves into our success on one hand, or to behave recklessly on the other. Enjoy your good fortune and remember to share it. The mark of a well-nourished self is the willingness to nourish others. So again, what's coming to me is that we have to remember that, you know, what we have, if there is a shortage in anything, remember to share with people, and, you know, to be aware of how much we really do have, especially after what happened last month with the floods and everything, recognizing we have so much. People have lost everything. I've had a friend that lost everything. It's horrible. Okay, we'll move on to the medicine cards. Oh, interesting. So we have a mouse here, and the mouse is all about scrutiny. The mouse looks at every little thing that it comes across and looks at, you know, is it something to eat? Is it something I need to move with? It is really about paying attention. And I think we're getting a message this month already. Pay attention to what we have. All right. The dragon cards. I'm going to pull 2 dragon cards. What do we need to know for the up and coming week? Ooh, I like that. Very nice. The Emerald Dragon is the first one. This one's amazing. It's emerald green, and it's all about healing and even abundance, okay? Good fortune is coming. Let your thoughts support your divine perfection. Align with your 5th dimensional blueprint. Most of you know we're shifting and changing, and we've gone from 3rd dimension, some are in the 4th dimension, some are moving into the 5th dimension, and we have to really know how to keep our bodies, you know, secure, safe, fed, nourished in many ways. So as we move into these higher dimensions, it's not going to wreak havoc with our body and our old energy. Earth and Air Dragon represents a perfect balance of heaven and earth. So when we think of heaven and earth, we think of being grounded on one hand and being in the heavens. They always say, have your hands outstretched. One hand in the heavens, one hand on the earth. So you're grounded, you're in physical form, you need to be in your body temple grounded. And also, you're listening, you're open to what the universe is telling you. Ground your visions and manifest your hopes and dreams. So we all know that we're going to be going through some difficult times. It's just the way that change happens, right? But in order to do that, we know that on the other side of this is something wonderful. I was guided to take out a very different deck. This is Inner Speak. And I'm just going to pull whichever one wants to come. Okay, so this particular card doesn't have a picture on it. It's talking about a child or loved one taken away. And if you just wait a minute, I will find this. It says this is a block that keeps you from choosing what you desire. So we're going to look at the orange. And ultimately, this is about grief and loss. And I know there's been a lot of trauma, a lot of people being, between COVID and people committing suicides, whether your child is 10 years old or your child is 40 years old. This is a difficult one, and a lot of people are going through grief and loss right now. This says the trauma of this revolves around the loss of someone that was loved through death, separation, divorce, etc. It says, question to see whether the source was the one that suffered the loss, was the one who was lost, or was the one who took the child or loved one away. So in this case, we're going to look at it as grief. And whoever you've lost in your life, this may come up this week. And I'm going to pull a positive one on this too. Like, what is the gift? Okay. So the gift is an angel blessing, synchronistic flow, and good fortune. So as we continue to heal these painful places in our hearts and in our lives, we start to have feeling the angels around us helping us to get through it. If you're one of these people that is suffering a recent loss or one that you just can't get over, ask the angels for help. And I always see Mother Mary, of course, as being one who helps, especially with the loss of children. One more. This is from Wisdom of the Avalon Oracle from Colette Byron Reed. Love Avalon. Been to England many times. Some of you have. So first week here, what is coming up? The Frog. This is always about cleansing. It says cleaning house, releasing emotional baggage. And what I want to say about this is that, I was looking for the number on it, think about cleaning house. We're moving into a time where we're going to go inward, and this really is, we want to sweep things out, we want to change the energy, we want to move things around, so be mindful of that. The Frog says it's time to clean house and get rid of the chatter in your environment, your head, and your heart. So it's cleaning house, what's laying on your chest, what's in your mind in many ways. Move out of any objects, thoughts, or relationships that hold you back. It's time to get rid of anything that clutters your life or your space with unwanted, burdensome energy, or anything that weighs heavy on your heart. Look around you, take stock of what surrounds you. Does what you see hold positive and supportive energy? If not, it's time to throw it away, release it, so that it in turn will release you from the influence. When the frog appears, it always springs and it's always spring and time for cleaning your house, so you can allow new and fresh energy to enter the world. The frog says it's time to release all things no longer appropriate to bring on your journey. Then you can hop onto the next lily pad, light and free. So although it's not spring, we have more time in the winter to go into our closets and pass our stuff on. And I love what they said. It's almost like a feng shui thing. When you look around your house, are there pictures that remind you of a sad time? Do you still have pictures of your first marriage and you're on your third? And give them to your kids. If it's their father, give them to them. But you don't need to hold on to anything that makes you sad. Really look at all the objects in your home. Does this bring me joy? And if not, pass it on to somebody who it will give joy to. So this week, paying attention to those rune stones that were very positive. Well, those were for the whole month. But, pay attention to things, just like the little mouse as it's going on its little journey for the day. Call in the emerald dragon for healing. Also, the earth and air dragon to bring balance in. And allow ourselves to grieve what once was that isn't anymore. Call on the angels and then do a housekeeping in here, and in here. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your week.